At the time of me recording this podcast episode, the story that I'm about to tell you happened yesterday, and I am doing something that I honestly don't do that often and should do more, and that is drinking some straight up water. And that is because I woke up this morning with my throat drier than the Sahara Desert and literally unable to breathe out of my mouth. I had so much mucus built up in my mouth and it was so dry that I had to breathe out of my stuffed nose for the first hour of today. Anyway, I will tell you why I am at that stage right now, because yesterday, a plan that we had set up weeks in advance took place. I shall make the announcement here. I might make the announcement on my YouTube at a later date, but I'm going to make it here. Xavier64 and I, at least for the moment, are playing nice again, proverbially, because we weren't friends for half a year, and then we finally decided to put some of our animosity aside and at least be back to being on good terms with each other. I doubt it'll be to the level it was before, but I honestly don't want it to be to the level it was before. I want it to just be a more casual friendship. And I hope he wants that too, because I honestly don't want to get right back into seeing each other every week or every friggin' day or whatever. Anyway, I'll talk about it more in a video if I make it, but we had planned for a while to have our first in-person meetup in 6 months happen yesterday, which the current date that I'm recording this on is March 31st. It happened yesterday on March 30th. We planned this, like I said, a few weeks in advance, and Lego Fan 11 and Typical Thieves came along. We weren't sure if it was going to happen because of Lego Fan 11's transportation, but it all worked out. So the night before, I set an alarm for 8:30 a.m. It was fine. I had gone on like 3 hours of sleep before. It wasn't that big a deal. I know you're not supposed to do that, but people do it. Whatever. So the night before, I set the alarm, and I have it set to the most annoyingly high-pitched alarm sound there is on my phone so that it's guaranteed to wake me up. Because I have several stories of me just sleeping straight through alarms, and I've skipped school a few times unintentionally because I've just straight up slept through my alarm. That's a story for a different podcast. The night before, also decided to not be on call for too long because for the past 3 days prior, we had set up this kind of streak of us hopping on at around 10:30, 11 p.m. and playing zombies or Left 4 Dead or something. And we still did that night, but I decided I'm going to be off call and like getting ready for bed around 1 a.m. And I technically did. We played one like round 32, 34 game of Buried on Black Ops 2. And I said, all right, guys, I'll see you in a few hours. I'm going to go to bed. Also, you may notice my voice is a bit weak for this, and that is because, like I said, I just have a massive headache. Yeah. I'm sure you'll forgive me, and if not, I don't care. I got off at around 12:55 a.m. I said, good night, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. And my plan was the same. Go get something to eat, because I was starving, and then go to bed. I just put 2 English muffins in the toaster. I cut them in half, and I put the 4 slices in the toaster. Then when they got out, I just put some butter on it, let it melt, and decided to eat that. Please do not get on a rant to yourself about how that is very fattening. I am aware. I'm trying to get myself to lose weight. But again, that is for a different podcast. Let's focus on what we need to do here. I decided while I ate to get a little bit of video work done, because I did and still have like 6 videos that I have to finish, but I'm trying to find a mix of delaying them and also working on them, because I have until I think April 10th completely taken up. So once I finish these videos, I'm going to have to rearrange them. But again, that is for a different podcast. So I worked on an arc. I am not going to talk too much about the arc because I want it to remain secret, but it's a horror arc that I've been wanting to do for about a year now, and I am finally getting it done, and I'm having some people help me, and it's going to turn out great. I will also talk about that in a different official out of character video at some point, or an episode of the podcast or whatever. But it's a horror arc, and I don't know how many people have this exact same thing that I do, but it's a thing where when you watch horror, you don't get like shiver scared. You just get those like chills up your spine and your hair stands up. And I'm one of those people who has their eyes pool whenever they get too controlled scared. So I'm literally like brainstorming ideas at 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning. Yep. Literally 1:30, 2 a.m. I'm sitting there brainstorming horror ideas. Long story short, scared myself with my own horror editing so much that I could not sleep. I looked at the time and it said 2 a.m. and I said, fuck that, because I'm way too into this and I am way too terrified. So yes, even 18 plus year olds can get so damn scared that they don't go to sleep. I am aware that you're probably yelling at your screen right now that it is my fault. I will acknowledge that. Yes, it is. It is 100% my fault. But I'm just telling you that that's why I didn't sleep. So 1 a.m. turns into 8 a.m. and I still have not slept. At this point, typical thieves and not Skyrim Gamer, he'll come later in the story. At this point, typical thieves and Lego Fan 11 are already awake and they're already doing stuff, both for their own various reasons. I still haven't slept. I decided to do some work on the Team 84 website and then go to sleep because the horror stuff had worn off. So I texted Typical Thieves saying, hey, I need to make a bug fix. Is there any way you want me to do this particular edit? Because if not, I'm just going to fix it. And I didn't get anything back for a few minutes, so I fixed it and I got in my bed. I rolled over to the side of the wall, and right as I was about to close my eyes, I get 30,000 Discord pings, and every single motherfucking person in the world decides to text me. Like, I'm getting notifications in the server, I'm getting everyone who's involved at that day just texting me, and it's like, bro, I just want to get like an hour-long power nap before I have to go meet up with Lego Fan 11, and then I can't anymore. So I get up, I walk back over to my computer, I answer the messages, I put my phone on mute except for the ringer so that my alarm doesn't not work. I sleep for less than an hour. Maybe it wasn't exactly an hour, I don't know, I didn't care. Then I wake up at around 9:23. I talk to Lego Fan 11, I call them, I BS them on the phone for 10 minutes while I get dressed. Then I bundle up, I walk out because where I live, I'm not going to reveal where I live, even though I've accidentally done it in a few streams and I hate myself for it. Where I live, he lives literally across the highway from me. Like, it's not a big ass highway like you're expecting, but it connects to the highway, so it's basically just a busy road. So, but we're also right next to an overpass that leads to like under a bridge, so I decided to just take the under the bridge way, which if I jog, it takes me like 8 minutes, but if I walk, it takes me an even 10, so cool. I walked over there, I met up with him, then Xavier64 called me on my phone, and just keep something in mind, when we first stopped being friends, I blocked him on both normal phone call and messaging and Discord. So, like, the two main ways that you can talk to me by, I blocked him on both. And the night before, I unblocked him and refriended him on Discord. All I had done with phone is just unblock him, because I don't know if you can favorite contacts on Android or whatever it was, but I just unblocked him and left it as that. And he called me and I answered it, and I didn't even say hello because I don't most of the time when I talk to my friends. I just said, we're on our way right now. And he goes, I wasn't calling to talk about that. I was just making sure the phone call thing worked. And I went, all right, but we're still on our way. Okay, I'll talk to you in a sec. Bye. So we hop in the car, and again, keep in mind at this point, the day before yesterday, I woke up at around 4-ish p.m. and I You'll know this because a video that's coming out in mid to late April, I recorded it on that day. And like, it's a very specific video, so you'll probably be able to pick out which one it is. So this was now around 9:45 a.m. I woke up at around 4 p.m., so I was already awake for about 16 hours. And a little info on the way my body works. I don't know if this is the way for anyone else, but whenever I hit 12 and a half to 13 hours awake, my body says we're done. Like, I don't gradually get tired over the course of the day. It's either I'm energetic or I'm tired. There's no in between. And once I hit that mark, unless I push myself to get past it purposefully, I'm gone. There are very rare times where it doesn't hit that mark and I gradually get tired, and yes, fair enough, but it's usually very rare. And it's always situational. It's never when I want it to be, but I just happen to have it for this day. So we go over there, we talk to him, we get him in the car, we BS for a bit. We decide to very, very briefly stop at Lego Fan 11's house and then go, because we had to pick Typical Thieves up from school. So we very briefly did that and got him in the car. His dad showed up to get him, even though Typical Thieves told his dad prior that someone else was getting him, but that's like a footnote in the story. Our main plan for the day, other than to have us all meet up, was to go get Shamrock Shakes from McDonald's. But apparently they ended like in the middle of March, which I kind of call some timing BS on that, because not even too long ago, like less than a week and a half ago, me and Lego Fan 11 by ourselves got Shamrock Shakes, so I call BS on that, but whatever. The Shamrock Shake flurries were still available, so we decided to get that, and I just got myself an ice cream cone with McDonald's points on the app because I only brought a 20 and that was only enough for 3. So I just said, here, you guys do it. I already ate last night. I'm still kind of full from that. After I had the cone, I guess it conveniently just decided to go away because I kind of felt hungry again. So we decided Typical Thieves will ask his mom if he has some extra money so we can go get food. And then we had the miraculous idea, because this was in the car, by the way, so we were already basically at my house. So if you're asking, why didn't you go to the McDonald's that you were just at? And that's a fair question, but the timing, we had to go to the one closer to us. So we went back to Lego Fan 11's house, and we walked, all of us walked, like across the street and across the highway, a couple blocks away to the McDonald's that's right next to my house. And while we were getting nuggies and stuff there, we decided, let's save one nuggie for Skyrim Gamer who isn't even with us, go to his house unannounced, and just give him the nuggie. We weren't gonna break and enter, we're not stupid, but we were just gonna show up to his apartment, knock on the door, and be like, hey, here's a nugget. And we then decided, we did do this, by the way, but we decided, or I looked at Typical Thieves while we were in the car and said, you should just text him with no context and say, we're on our way. And he did. And we showed up, we parked in the parking lot, and Skyrim Gamer came out, and we gave him the nuggie. And when we did, after we were done laughing and joking around, I looked at him and said, you want to come with and vibe for a bit? And he just goes, yeah, sure, why not? And so boom, we hopped in the back, and that was that. We very, very briefly stopped at my house to grab some soda and BS a bit more, but that was before Skyrim Gamer was there, and that's besides the point now. So I want to reiterate something. At this point in time, it was around a little after 4 p.m., so I had just hit the 24-hour mark of being awake. But then Lego Fan 11 drove us to Walmart where he works, and we all walked around and looked at the stuff, and, you know, because some people do that. And besides the fact that I saw 2 girls from school that I know and recognize, one of them, or both of them, making direct eye contact with me a few times, and me bumping into one of them on the way in. Sorry, I had to drink water. The Walmart trip ended because we were in the toy aisle because we looked looking at Nerf stuff, and we are all massive children, despite all of us being over 18. Well, most of us being 18, one of us being over. You get the fucking point. It ended when I had Xavier 64 in a shopping cart and I was pushing him around like a child in the shopping cart because that's how we are. And I decided, all right, we won't do anything bad. Let me just go wheel the cart back because we didn't know who the cart belonged to. It didn't have anything in it and it was just kind of sitting there. So I said, all right, let's just go put the cart back. Whatever. So I looked at the guys and said, I will be right back. I'm going to go put the cart back and then we'll come back. Cool? Cool. We went and put the cart back. It was a straight line from where we were to the cart parts in the opening of the Walmart. So I pushed them there. And then when we got there, I said, all right, hop out. So we did. I put the cart back and we started jogging very lightly. We weren't running. We were doing like the stepmom jog to the kids, because like I said, we're all massive toddlers. And when we got there, they were gone. We had no idea where they were, just gone. So we started again, jogging up and down the aisles, being wary of other people, because I know somebody's going to Karen out listening to this. Like, you were running in a Walmart? How dare you? It's like, calm down, sit back down, adjust your blonde wig, shut the fuck up. We were being wary of other people, and we were being respectful. So yeah, we're lightly jogging around going, where the hell? Maybe a few minutes pass, and we still can't find him anywhere in the vicinity. So I pull up my phone and call Lego Fan 11 and say, where are you guys? They went back to the car. They left us while we were putting the cart back and just went to the car, which was parked in the employee section over in the different parking lot because he works there and he can't. I'm like, you motherfuckers left us? We were gone for 35, 40 seconds at most, and we came back and you left us? Really? And I want to point something out. It's not that they were with us and then left. No, when we left to go put the cart back, according to them, they followed us and then took a right when we got near the checkouts, which I know is not true because before we got to even the checkouts, I turned around and looked to see if they were still there, and I didn't see them anywhere. So basically, they straight up just left us. And then like I hear Lego Fan 11 from the other side. Oh, we didn't want to get in trouble for you being idiots with the cart. Bro, we didn't even do anything bad. We were being respectful. And again, I said through the phone, I'm like, you motherfuckers, you just straight up left us. You assholes. So we said, all right, we'll come back out to the car. And so there we went, walked down the exact same path. We walked out and I'm still talking to him. And I hear Skyrim Gamer from the other side of the phone in the car. You guys suck, you know that? And I went, and I'm like, all right, the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. I now have to call him out. I went, we suck? We suck? Listen here, buddy old pal. You left us without telling us you would leave, just straight up ditched us. Didn't even bother to send a text, didn't even bother once to try calling my phone, because I checked my phone logs. They never once tried. And only waited until I and Xavier64 got back to where they were, walked around in a massive circle for almost 5 minutes, me pulling out my phone and calling them to tell us that they left and went to the car. Granted, I know they wouldn't have left us there, but then the thought comes into your mind of how long they were planning to sit in the car and wait for us to realize, and how long it would have had to have been before they would have pulled out their phone and did it. You sons of bitches. So I get back to the car, and of course the door is locked because teenagers. And so I wait for the door to unlock, and I open the passenger side door, and I look straight at Skyrim Gamer, and I say, we suck? Bitch, you left us. You abandoned us. Not a second thought in your mind. You just left. Anyway, that absolute audacity aside, we got back in the car, and Lego Fan 11's dad wanted him back home for something, and we thought he was in trouble. And I will be honest, at this point in time, as I'm recording this, we still don't know if he actually got in trouble, because apparently, according to him, his dad never said anything about it. And sorry, I got distracted because Spotify for podcasters, which used to be Anchor, is telling me you can only record for 30 minutes max in your browser. It's like, yeah, I know. Shut up. But anyway, so now we're all in a panic because we have no idea. We're not going to bring all of the guys back because we're just going to let Trevor and his dad do what they need to do. So I start talking to the guys and saying, all right, who are we dropping off? Who are we taking back? Because I always ride back with Lego Fan 11 because I can just walk back to my house. I always do. I don't mind it. And so we decided on dropping, since Xavier 64 and Skyrim Gamer live literally a block away from each other as well somehow. We decided, all right, Typical Thieves can come back and chill with me at my house for an hour or two, or whenever we both get bored, and we'll drop Xavier 64 off, and Xavier 64 and Skyrim Gamer off at Xavier 64's house, which we did. I said bye. Today was cool, and it was genuinely fun, and I missed it. And I think we both just realized that we should be happy for what it was, because it was a good day. And then we went back, and me and Typical Thieves said, all right, Lego Fan 11, I'll see you tomorrow or something. I'll text you tomorrow. We went back to my house, and keep this in mind. It is now like 6 p.m. So I have been awake for over 24 hours, and I'm reaching 27. Like, I'm approaching 27 quickly. I've passed the 26-hour mark, and I'm reaching 27. 27 hours awake, and a good 14 of it was just spent with the boys. I was exhausted. Like, my mental capacity was through the floor, and I could not muster more than one thought at a time. Me and Typical Thieves literally watched memes for like 20-30 minutes. We decided, because his mom finally got back with us with $10, which wasn't enough for actual like ordering fast food, but we decided to go to the Quick Trip that's also across the block. We got 2 cheesy breadsticks, mac and cheese. Or no, excuse me. He got mashed potatoes and gravy. I got a bacon cheeseburger, and he got, I think, a chicken sandwich. We came back, we ate, we cleaned up. Then I was laying in my bed, not asleep, but I was just watching a video. And then I said, all right, dude, I'm sorry, but can you call your dad and tell him to come pick you up? I literally cannot. If I stay awake any longer, I'm going to become a zombie. And so he did, and I went to sleep. And now here's where today comes in. I went to bed around 6:45 latest, because my time of us getting home probably was a little off, but I know for a fact I went to bed no later than 6:45. So let's just say 6:45. Actually, no, it was 6:30. I apologize. I'm basing that off when I woke up today. So I went to bed at around 6:30 p.m. I woke up today at 10:45. I was asleep for 16 hours straight. 16 straight hours I was asleep. I woke up this morning and I was still tired. For the first hour I was awake, I literally could not open my eyes. My eyes were trying to force themselves to be shut again, and I had to actively fight my own body. My throat was so dry that I could not breathe. I had to slam a couple cups of water just to lubricate my throat enough to talk, let alone breathe. And I'm still recovering at the time of recording this, and I've been awake for like 3 hours already. And it was... Jesus Christ. And then Trevin Pro came online a couple hours ago and asked if we're doing anything this weekend, and I literally just went, no. After yesterday, I am ready to just go into a coma and coma my way through the weekend, so probably not.